Willow was drugged. She was woozy, severely impaired, and about to put Wiley and Amelia in the back of a complete disaster, right? A tragedy that was only narrowly avoided. But guys, if you ask me, this wasn't just a random act of chaos. This was the spark that is going to ignite the most vicious, explosive war we have ever seen in this town. And the ultimate target, Michael. Here is where things get incredibly messy. We all know Jacinda spiked Willow's drink. We know Michael found out, became absolutely furious, and rushed to intervene before Willow could drive off and get herself or the kids killed. You would expect Willow to immediately point the finger at Jacinda, right? You would expect her to call the cops, scream for justice, and demand Jacinda be locked up in Pentonville. But wait, she isn't doing that. She is staying dangerously quiet. She is watching, she is observing, and that changes everything. Because Willow isn't just a victim here. She is an opportunist. Guys, this is where it gets interesting. I suspect Willow has been desperately waiting for a massive, undeniable reason to seize full, undisputed custody of Wiley and Amelia. She wants total control. And this drugging incident, it just handed her the ultimate weapon. But she isn't going to use it on Jacinda. Oh no. She is going to twist this entire narrative to frame Michael. Think about the chain reaction here. Event A triggers event B. Willow realizes that exposing Jacinda only solves a temporary problem. Jacinda goes to jail, but Michael is still around. But if she can somehow link Jacinda's reckless actions directly to Michael, that solves her permanent problem. She needs an ally to pull this off. Someone ruthless. Someone who knows how to manipulate the system and doesn't care about the rules. Enter Jack Brennan. If Willow goes to Brennan for help, this whole situation spirals out of control. But that's not even the biggest surprise. Why would Brennan help her? Because Brennan thrives on chaos and leverage. If Brennan actually sides with Willow, I do not rule out the possibility that these two will team up to create a completely fabricated, highly convincing story. A story designed specifically to make Michael the prime suspect. They are going to build a trap so tight, Michael won't even see it coming until it snaps shut on his neck. It gets worse. Much worse. According to my theory, Willow and Brennan won't just spread rumors. They will manufacture hard, undeniable evidence. They might forge digital trails, fake burner phone records, or even fabricate offshore bank transfers to make it look like Michael was secretly paying Jacinda. They will paint a sinister picture where Michael orchestrated the entire drugging incident himself, just to prove Willow is an unfit mother. It is a brilliant, twisted, and entirely illegal move. And then everything spiraled. This is a ridiculously dangerous chess move. But if Willow gets her hands on what she believes is bulletproof fake evidence, she gets exactly what she wants. The ultimate leverage. The ultimate reason to march into family court and demand that a judge restrict or completely strip Michael of his access to Wiley and Amelia. She will claim Michael is a physical danger to the mother of his children, and she will have the fake documents to prove it. What happened next may be even worse. I highly doubt Willow will just hand this evidence over to the police immediately. That is not her style right now. Instead, she is going to take this fabricated file and walk straight to Michael. She is going to corner him behind closed doors and offer him a sinister deal. A brutal, non-negotiable ultimatum. She will lay it all out very clearly. Michael must accept her terms, sign away his parental rights, and step back, or she will unleash a legal nightmare that will destroy his entire life. Michael will be completely blindsided. He will think he is in control, playing the hero who saved Willow and the kids from a terrible car crash. But suddenly, he is staring down the barrel of a blackmail plot orchestrated by the woman he used to love. If he refuses her deal, Willow will leak the entire dossier. And that is when the police get involved. That is when the real chaos begins, and Michael's life turns into a living hell. Guys, imagine this scenario. Michael is sitting there, totally confident in his innocence. And suddenly, the PCPD knocks on his door. They start asking questions about the drugging. They bring Jacinda in for questioning. Jacinda is dragged into the investigation. and she might even be manipulated into pointing the finger at Michael to save herself. The more Michael tries to defend himself, the more defensive and guilty he looks. Every denial will sound like a desperate cover-up. Every attempt to prove his innocence will just make it look like he is hiding something massive. That is exactly the trap Willow wants to spring. If I am right, her end goal is not just simple revenge against Michael. She wants to create a toxic, inescapable situation where Michael has absolutely zero chance of winning a custody battle. She wants to ruin his reputation, his credibility, and his standing in the eyes of the law. She wants to break him down psychologically and legally until he has no choice but to surrender Wiley and Amelia to her completely. But wait, there is another massive piece to this puzzle. Washington, D.C. I strongly suspect that D.C. is going to play a critical role in Willow's master. She isn't just going to take full custody and stay in Port Charles where Michael can constantly hover and fight back. She is going to use this fabricated war to declare that Wiley and Amelia must live with her far away from the dangers and toxic influence of Port Charles. She will argue that she needs to protect her kids from the dangerous environment Michael created. She might even use the planned move to Washington, D.C. as her final devastating blow. A way to legally and physically sever Michael's ties to his children forever. She will hold that D.C. relocation over his head like a guillotine. It is ruthless. It is cold. And it is exactly what a desperate, determined mother would do to win at all costs. But here is where things get incredibly messy for Willow. We have to remember one crucial fact. Willow is playing a game with fire, and she is standing in a pool of gasoline. If Michael somehow figures out that Willow and Jack Brennan are manipulating evidence, the entire plan will backfire in the most spectacular, destructive way possible. The hunter will instantly become the hunted. If Michael uncovers the forgery, Willow is no longer just a protective mother fighting for her kid. She instantly becomes a criminal. She becomes the ultimate villain of her own story. She could face severe criminal charges for fabricating evidence, obstruction of justice, and filing false police reports. She could lose her freedom, her career on the hospital board, and ironically, the very children she is fighting so hard to keep. And let's not forget Jack Brennan. If Brennan is heavily involved in this framing plot, he is going down right alongside her. The WSB, the PCPD, and Michael's own powerful resources will come down on them like a ton of bricks. This is the biggest twist of all. Willow thinks she is paving a golden road to full custody, but she might actually be building a massive legal bomb right under her own feet. One wrong step, and it all blows up in her face. I suspect Willow is going to face a terrifying choice very soon. Does she continue to silently manipulate Michael and Jacinda from the shadows, risking absolutely everything? Or does she pull the plug before this scheme crosses the point of no return? Knowing Willow's current state of mind and her absolute determination to remove Michael from Wiley and Amelia's lives, I highly doubt she is going to back down easily. She is all in. If Michael rejects her blackmail deal, this war is going to explode overnight. This is no longer just a bitter fight between two people who used to love each other. This is about to become a scorched earth battle for custody, reputation, freedom, and the entire future of Wiley and Amelia. The stakes have never been higher, and the collateral damage in Port Charles is going to be immense. Nobody is safe in this crossfire. Jacinda is a disposable pawn. Brennan is a dangerous co-conspirator. Michael is the desperate target. And Willow is the mastermind who might just destroy herself in the process of trying to win. The tension is unbearable right now. The clock is ticking down to 0. And the next move could send someone to prison for a very long time. A massive secret is about to be exposed. Someone is walking straight into a devastating trap. A flawless plan is teetering on the edge of total collapse. And the biggest question of all remains unanswered. Just how far will Willow go to get what she wants, and will she turn herself into the ultimate villain to do it? You absolutely cannot miss what happens next.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.